Bismillah, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is your sister Naima B. Robert here, award-winning author of almost 30 books for children, teens and adults. And I have to say right off the bat that I do have a weakness for children's books. I started out in children's books. I've written more children's books than anything else, and I love helping sisters write books for children because, as it happens, a lot of sisters like you would like to write for children. So I decided to put together a little series where I can share with you the things that I share with my clients and with my students, some of the most important building blocks for writing good stories or good books for children. So today's session is going to be about the what. What are you going to write about? Now, before I continue, I'd like to just make clear that I do have a specific and special interest. I am on a mission to create 222 Muslimah authors by the end of the year. And to be honest, children's authors are, mashallah, the easiest authors to work with, and they get the most success, mashallah. So with that being said, let's focus now on the what of your children's story. Yes, you. We're going to get started to work right away. So what do I mean by the what? The what is, what are you going to write about? There is a plethora of options when it comes to topics to write about. So let me break it down for you so that you can start thinking right now, what comes to mind, what possibilities are there in your experience, in your area right now that you could potentially explore in a book for children. So the most common way that most of us get into writing for children is when we come up with a story idea. Okay, it could be inspired by our children and their shenanigans, or something that we've seen, out there in the street, or even just something that we imagine or we dream. So starting with a story is a great place to start. If you have a story in mind, start writing it. Now, it's not just stories that can work as children's books. You can also pull from other aspects of your life in order to create something especially for children. So let's look at experiences. Many of us have had all sorts of experiences as children, teens and adults that could very neatly be retold in a way that is engaging for children. An example of this, I would say, is my book, Going to Mecca. Going to Mecca was inspired by my journey on Hajj, and that was my experience, right? I experienced the Hajj, and I decided that let me try and take this experience and what I took from the experience, what I learned, and turn it into a book for children. And alhamdulillah, that worked very, very well. The other thing that can be good raw material for a children's book is your passions. What are you excited about? What are you enthusiastic about? What do you love? Any one of your passions could be turned into something really engaging and beautiful for children. A lot of the time because you are excited by it, you're enthusiastic by it, and that will come through. So if you have, like I did, a passion for Islamic art and architecture and history, you could take that and craft a story around that. Alhamdulillah, I was very blessed to be able to do that in my book, Journey Through Islamic Art. It was born from a passion of mine, and the more I delved into this passion and understood and learned more about the different art styles and the different arenas of Islamic history, the story took shape, and alhamdulillah, it was published as Journey Through Islamic Art as a result of my passion. Now, another thing that you can do and what you can draw on for a children's book is your own expertise. Do you know something? Do you know how to do something? Are you good at explaining something? Because any of those could be used as the basis of a children's story, of a children's book. So for example, if you are a really great cook, or I'm now basing this on some of my clients' own books. One of our clients, her expertise was all to do with recycling, upcycling. It was something that she did in her own life, something she taught her children, something she used to share with the children in her neighborhood. She ended up writing a book called Growing from Kitchen Scraps, and it was published, mashallah, in Malaysia. You may think to yourself, recycling, upcycling, like what's that got to do with children? But of course, anything that you know how to do, that you could potentially teach children how to do, could be the basis of a fantastic children's book. So look around you. Look around you. Think of what stories have come to mind for you, what expertise, what passions, what experiences you have that you'd like to pass on to the next generation. And this is the key point, because as far as I'm concerned, your children's book is your love letter to the next generation. There are children, inshallah, who will grow up reading your book, who will grow up loving your book, asking their parents to read your book to them again and again and again. It will become part of their childhood memories and part of who they are. So think carefully now. What would you like to share with the next generation? What's the message on your heart that you would like to be able to share with the next generation coming up? Insha'Allah ta'ala, earning sadaqah jariyah along the way and helping us to build and broaden the range of titles available for Muslim children. I hope that gave you some food for thought. If it did, I'm glad. Make sure that you follow this series. I will be sharing a new tip in every video and I want you to engage. So let me know in the comments what was your takeaway from today. And if you have a book idea that you're not sure how to develop and you'd like my help, feel free to go to naimarobert.com/services and send me an application. Tell me more about your book. Tell me more about yourself. And let's see if we're a fit to work together. As I said, I do have a personal interest, and that is my goal of helping create 222 Muslimah authors. And I'd love for you to be one of them. So until the next video, I'll see you inshallah. Go out there and look for those ideas. Assalamu alaikum.